Guys, welcome back to the Pop Culture Corner. My name's Ty, and it is 2022. Salud. Now, I am recording this video, and I haven't been, too present over the past couple weeks. So I found out that I did contract COVID-19. Unfortunately, that's just the way that the world is right now. So I haven't been feeling really, myself lately. But thanks for showing up, guys. I truly appreciate it. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, 2021 was a very interesting year, especially for pop culture and just the changing of tides in how we consume and perceive content. From our favorite studios like Marvel, DC, etc., so on and so forth. But with that being said, guys, make sure to smash that like button, share the show across social media, and to the stars above. And if you feel like supporting the channel, you can become a member for as low as $2.99. We have 3 tiers at $2.99, $4.99, and $9.99, and they all help us keep the production as good as it can be. I recently just bought a new camera, which this is my first video making it on, and I'm super excited. I'm kind of mad that it took this long, but like I said, the world moves on. That being said, I haven't been able to talk about it. Rest in peace to one of the greatest comedians of all time. You know him as the dad from Full House, Mr. Bob Saget. He is one of my favorite people. His comedy was raunchy. It was just downright dirty. But then you see him on stuff like Full House. The guy had range. Bob Saget had range. A lot of people know him from America's Funniest Home Video, Full House. But if you ever saw his comedy, you would know what a true genius that man was. And he will always be remembered as one of the greatest of all time. So let's have a moment of silence for my friend Bob. Okay, so now back to the more dreary stuff, honestly, which is the controversy that is Batgirl. Now, the DCEU has been very convoluted and very hard to follow for most general audiences. I can't even imagine what the general audience feels about the DC brand as a whole. But some new leaked photos from the Batgirl set have come out and surfaced online. Like we've talked about before, the leak culture is only getting bigger and it's only expanding. So the secrets that studios once held very tightly are now not so secret. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm on the side of it being a bad thing. It's a good thing for me, right? I get to talk about it on the show. We get to discuss it. But for somebody who wants to go in dark, it sucks, right? Things like No Way Home, the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire thing. Tobey was much more of a guarded secret, as no one could find him before that movie premiered. But the Andrew Garfield thing, it really tested. The guy should get an Oscar just for his performances before the film, right? Telling people he wasn't in it and trying to make that the truth, and have us still, there be some surprise when he entered the fold in No Way Home. But, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. But like I said, some more pictures have released for Batgirl. And one of them shows a mural of Batman and Robin. Now, you might say, well, Ty, when Zack Snyder was leading the charge at DC, Robin was dead. Yes. Now, Zack Snyder diehards, and what the internet is labeling them as Snyder cultists, that's where their problem is, right? That's where their problem is. Now, we know Commissioner Gordon is going to be reprised by J.K. Simmons, right? That would lead us one direction. Okay, so it must be related to Ben Affleck's Batman. Yes? Well, no. See, Batgirl is going to take place after The Flash in the DCEU continuity. And we don't know what The Flash is going to do. We know that it's widely expected that Michael Keaton will take over as Earth 1 or Earth Prime as Bruce Wayne Batman. Now, you might also ask, well, Ty, why would they replace Ben Affleck with a much older, much more complicated Batman? Well, that's the question we're all asking right now, isn't it? And we truly don't know. not until The Flash comes out, how this story is going to unfold. Has Ben Affleck signed on to be in The Flash as a send off to the character? That way they can usher in that Michael Keaton style Batman. We know that the Batman in Batgirl is going to be in like a Nick Fury style role, which could make sense if they were aiming for a more Batman Beyond story. Just substituting Terry McGinnis with Barbara Gordon's Batgirl. I could see that happening, and I could see that being kind of a fun story. But again, that's where the division is happening. Also, other pictures have leaked out. One of them teases Black Canary. Another teases Hugo Strange. And then there were a few set photos that showed Leslie Grace in a black trench coat or raincoat style. This is a tactic used by lots of studios to cover up what is presumably the bat suit. I would assume that she's in full costume and she's trying to hide it from people like us, the paparazzi, right? The people that just want the picture. They just want the picture so they can leak it online, right? And get some cred or that warm, tingly feeling that we all search and crave for online. A lot of us are wondering where and how is Batgirl going to affect the DCEU as a whole. Now, the DCEU lost a lot of its footing in recent months. There was a huge win when the Snyder Cut did come out. Fans rejoiced. They thought, wow, Warner Brothers might be headed down the right path. But Warner Brothers also came out and said that this is a cul-de-sac. This is, something we're doing. If we looked around us during the pandemic, you can really clearly see there was a lack of content. So why not make the Snyder Cut at a time when movies really weren't being made, right? This one, the Snyder Cut, could have been done the way it was, and that was from people's homes. They were able to stay apart. The filming was already done. All that was needed was a little bit of VFX, etc., a couple shots here, a couple shots there. But for the most part, I think they did that because they were starving for content. They needed something to give us. And it just so happened to be one of the biggest talked about, rumored myths in the movie industry as a whole ever in history. The whole Snyder Cut thing is a documentary in itself. But I think, and I've said this before, that gave fans hope that this iteration of the DCEU would continue. Now, we already know that the Batman is coming out. It's coming out this year, hopefully. And it's just landed a PG-13 rating, which has now divided even more of the DC community. And it just seems, I'm asking myself, why is everyone so divided? Shouldn't we just want good stories to be told? Shouldn't we just want these characters that we love to find their footing? Some awesome story, some awesome adventure for us to go on together? That's where I'm at now. And I'm kind of sick of the in-house fighting. Now, if we look across the bay at Marvel, let's look at what can be done if you tell a story the right way, right? Look at No Way Home. They did something that was unspeakable, and I'm even still beside myself over it. 3 Spider-Men in one movie, connecting generation and generation and generation of Spider-Man, right? Didn't matter who you love, who's your favorite Spider-Man. They were all teamed up together. As long as the door isn't shut, then it's not closed forever and can always be opened. A lot of people have been talking about Ben Affleck's comments. It seems he's on a press tour of kind of hurting our feelings, right? For us that love him as Batman, it seems that he is going away from the character, and that should be okay. We can't make him or force him to play a role that he doesn't love, nor should we. And that goes for Zack Snyder as well. And I've talked about that many times. If they're happy and they've found a new path, then who are we to say anything else? Who are we to try to force them to play a part in just because we want that DC back? Zack Snyder was always meant to be the foundation. The foundation. It was always going to branch off. DC needs an MCU-style interconnected universe. Now, where and how they keep building upon that remains to be seen. They've had a little bit more success in their movies that aren't connected, right? i.e. The Joker. Even Shazam, which is connected to the overall DCEU, didn't try to be something that connected so hard And it was fun because of it. The Suicide Squad, as it didn't do so well in theaters, it still looked at as a pretty good movie. It did not try to connect overall, but it took pieces. So it seems DC has had a lot of success with movies that aren't so interconnected. So maybe for a while, they just need to be single. There is a merger hanging in the distance, and we don't know, and nobody knows. Trust me, if they're telling you they know, they're lying to you. No one knows what's going to happen post-merger. Not even the people that are a part of it. I'm sure they have plans or they've drawn up possibilities. But until they're in the driving seat, well, we just have to wait and see. So there's no sense in fighting. There's no sense in arguing. And definitely, don't pay attention to those people that are grifting you, right? People like Grace Randolph and others who I won't name, but they play both sides of the street. That way, no matter what outcome, they can tell you they were right. And that will renew your faith in them as scoopers or YouTubers, right? And that's how they keep the grift going. You know, I know people might have a lot to say about Matt Jarbo, but he knows that game and he knows those people. I think you should pay attention a little bit more to what Matt has said about some people. That's all I'm saying. But the future of the DCEU remains to be seen. We know that there's projects like Blue Beetle, Batgirl, and The Flash, and the Batman. Yes, we don't know what truly will connect all of them, or if any of them, right? The Batman's the outlier. And people think that they should start over. Would that be worth it? I don't know. We still have Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash. We still have the characters that Zach gave us. And I think that's good enough for now. No door is truly closed, as we can see with the MCU. Even if you think it's gone, it could never happen. It could happen, especially with the multiverse. So, as fans, I think we need to appreciate what we have and that it's the greatest time to be a comic book fan ever, especially for adaptations. If you like your comic books adapted into movies, this is the greatest period ever. This is the golden age. We should be happy that we get to pick and choose. Wow, this is great. Wow, I didn't like this so much. It's absolutely amazing when you look around. So instead of fighting each other, let's just be happy for what we have. I'll be the first to say, I want more Zack Snyder's DCEU. But if it's not in the cards, it's not in the cards. I have a lot of hope. I have aspirations of where I want DC to go. But I'm realistic. The writing on the wall, the simple addition that for most of us, you know, we can add it up. It just doesn't look so hot right now. And that's not a bad thing. Warner Brothers, at the end of the day, is a movie studio. They need to make money, and they're going to continue to do that. But Warner Brothers can't wait around. And some of the Warner Brothers executives' clocks are ticking. They don't know how much longer they're going to be there with this merger hanging in the distance. Moral of my story is, let's just be grateful for what we have and celebrate, what came before it. Nothing is truly over. All right, guys, that's been the pop culture update for the DC side of things. Now, I am going to do a couple other videos about other subjects, but check those out when I do drop them. For now, make sure to smash that like button, share the show across social media, and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel further, feel free to send a donation via Super Chat and or become a member. All money that we get goes back into the production of the show, and it truly means a lot to me. So in this new year, where we have so much going on, so much planned, there are a lot of changes taking place. But fear not, we will still be here, and we will still be having a good time together. I really enjoyed this, and it's good to be back. I'll see you next time.